Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we've got round 5 of the Zwift Racing League. This is the penultimate race of the season, can you believe? I can't believe how quickly the season's gone. It feels like just a couple of, days ago we were talking about it being the first race of the season, but here we are, second to last one, so you know it's going to be a difficult one. We've got Chasing to the Sun and Makuri Islands special. This is a points race, so I think 5 sprint segments throughout this one, which is actually 4 sprints and a little climb. But oh god, this course was just absolutely brutal. But I had a bit of confidence, obviously following last week's pretty decent performance in Innsbruck. So yeah, quietly confident. Normally what I will try and do is stay with the front group for as long as possible and try and finish up as high as possible. But as we come to the first sprint segment here, I was very keen to try and get a few first across the line, fastest through segment points, because I thought I had a bit of a chance. My sprint is not terrible, but as we come through this long sprint segment here, I'm just going to ramp up the power slowly. So I didn't want to start off too hard, but as you can see, I have got just some more power numbers or some more power coming to the end of this segment, which actually worked really well for me. I do get pipped on the line just here, but for the first sprint, just over, almost 2 minutes into this race, and that's 2 points already from the first sprint segment. So I'll take that, because normally I don't really get any significant sprint points, really. I mean, I guess the first race I did, but I am going to get some sprint points this time, and there you go. So job 1 done. Now I've just got to recover the best I can into the next sprint segment. Now the second sprint segment is just as difficult as the first one. In fact, I would say it's even tougher, because you've got a little bit of an incline which is just here before you actually reach the sprint segment. So in my head, well, actually my legs were telling me that I needed some rest, and I couldn't in fact go for this one. A couple of seasons ago I did a race similar to this, and I got dropped at this point. So for me, I'm just trying my best to stay with the front group, because I know that there's going to be some other sprint segments that I might be able to do pretty well on. Now you can see the pack has just got away from me a little bit, and I didn't win any segment points on that one, but as the group behind comes through, I'm just going to stick onto the back and try and get into the main bunch, which I'm actually pretty confident about doing. And as we just roll it on here, you can see that we're just managing to kind of hang on to the back of this pack, and we do reach the pack, which is great. However, the bad news is we're at the bottom of the climb, which there's no points for on this bit. But yeah, I really was absolutely struggling, and I honestly thought that I would get dropped here, because my legs were screaming, my lungs were screaming. I didn't really have anything left in the tank after those first 2 segments. But you know what? I just stood up on the bike and I did everything. I thought, right, come on, you're almost at the top. And I actually made it. I was so happy to stay in the front group on this one, because I honestly thought that that was the end of kind of any sort of sprint segment or any sort of additional points that I would get in this race. So I knew that there was a really, really good chance to sort of hang on and just get some rest here. Now actually that was a kind of a key talking point. So I could have been dropped there, and if I was dropped, that would have been the end of as I said before, any further points or any further sprint points in this race potentially, or especially any of the first across the line points. But it was worth it at that point to literally bust the gut to try and do everything to stay with this front pack. So yeah, job done, happy with that. And as we now come through up to the I think it's the third sprint segment here. Now this one is much shorter than the other 2. It's about 9 to 10 seconds long, whereas the first couple were over 30 seconds long. So what I'm going to do here is I've been getting a bit of recovery, but I'm just going to take everyone by surprise. Now I know I can do 30 seconds at a pretty good pace, so I jumped on it a little bit before perhaps when I should have done. Now you can tell me if I was I made a mistake here or not, but I kind of got the jump on everyone. Now there's one person behind me, and he's pushing out some mega watts per kilogram. It's like 15 watts a kilogram. But as we come through the actual segment here, I'm pretty confident that I'm going to get third place, because there is someone up the road, but someone's just trying to get on me there. So yeah, I actually get third place there, first across the line, and I get another point for fastest through segment. Now the mistake could have possibly been, did I actually get, or could I have got a better fastest through segment, but I decided that the first across the line was probably more important, and yeah, happy to pick that one up. And that's a few more points, and actually more points than I probably ever got before. That's the good news anyway. The bad news is that I'm feeling terrible now. My heart rate went super high on that last point, and now I know that we've got another segment up at 13, I think it's 13.2 miles. So yeah, not long to recover at all. And I felt like the pace was getting pushed so hard at this point. I really needed some rest and recovery. And I know the watts don't really show it, but yeah, unfortunately it was at this point that I actually lost the pack. I could not stay with them. I thought about doing a bit of a kind of a zone 3 effort, or basically the most that I could up this hill, get passed there by someone else. Now, I knew that was pretty much it. I mean, there's only one sprint, so well, there's this obviously segment, but there's one sprint segment towards the end of the race. So now for me, it's just about trying to maintain this position and finish without getting caught by the kind of bigger pack that's behind me, because I'm kind of in the middle of the race. But being in no man's land, it's always difficult to know what to do. Do I fall back and work with the pack and then try and out sprint them at the end, or should I just push on? Now this person came past here, Hendricks, and he was pretty much behind me the whole of the climb, but doing a similar sort of pace. And I thought it's good to at least have one person with me, but he was actually a bit of a beast when it came to putting the power down on the kind of way back into Nyokio. And I was having actually real difficulty keeping up with him. There were some obviously bits where he did slow up a little bit, but for the most part, as you're going to see in a minute by the graph down the bottom, he was pushing some, between, I would say, 3.6 and 4 watts a kilogram. I did want to help. I really did want to help. And here I kind of have a little go at helping, but he just drops back a bit, which I was quite confused about. But the majority of the time, he had actually been leading the way. So I, at this point, didn't really want to challenge, because if it wasn't for him pulling a lot of the time, I definitely would have fallen back. And actually, one of the little mistakes that I made is I should have slowed up there and actually had a go at the last sprint, but I didn't bother in the end. I just wanted to finish in 24th as I could. Now, do you think I've done the right thing here? I mean, it's not like I was guaranteed to come 23rd, but he did most of the pulling, so off he goes into the distance. I didn't challenge him at all for 23rd position, and I just quite happily come over the line in 24th position, but with a decent amount of first across the line points and fastest through. So I actually finished third out of the 4 guys from Rafa, so some really great performances there. John just finished ahead of me. Pavel doing really well with the first across the line and fastest through. So a decent points haul for us again. We did well considering. 5th place is okay, and that means that in the table we are still in 4th position. I think we pulled out a little bit of a further gap from 5th place, so it's still all to play for in the last race of the season. So we've given ourselves a pretty good chance there, and I've got the old Zwift power results up here, so yeah, not too bad at all. Once again, some really strong performances from others, but was it worth getting dropped? I would say on this occasion, definitely so. Anyway, thanks for watching everybody, and I'll see you on the next one.